What's up guys, my name is Serge and this is Valorant Omen guide. I have more than 1000 hours on this agent, and in this video I will show you things which I've learned about using his smokes, abilities and ultimate. Here we won't talk about basic stuff which you can easily find in custom game by yourself, but instead we will discuss solid things which work really well all the time and will help you win the matches. Let's go! Firstly, let's talk about Omen's flash. One cool trick about Omen's flash is that you can make it move with different speed. You can run forward and flash. This way it will move pretty fast. You can run back and your flash will move slower. And if you stand still, your flash will have its average speed. I usually use fast flashing in areas like a Heaven on Split or on a Ascent A lobby, where my teammate on Jet or Ace can close the distance really fast and kill blinded enemies. Default flashing speed is also good, because people can turn away from it like they can do with Phoenix, Breach, Yor and Sky flashes, so you can use it in almost every area of the map. I didn't really find the use for slow flashing. Maybe you will come up with something and it will help you. If you have any ideas of using slow flashes, leave them in the comment section, I will appreciate it. One thing that you need to be aware of: do not peek instantly after flashing your opponents, and when you peek wide and crouch. Some enemies can use operator, they will wait for a split second and shoot even being flashed. And some riflers even after being flashed won't run away. Instead they will stay and spray in the place where your head might be, so you have good chances to be killed by blinded enemies. The effect of Omen's paranoia lasts 2 seconds, so flash, wait for a split second, peek wide with crouch and kill your enemy. Also never try to push blinded enemies in close distance. They don't hear sounds and disoriented but still can see you in close range. Double doors area on Heaven is a good example. Remember about it. Now we will talk about Omen smokes. This is the reason why this agent is the best smoker in game. Better than Viper and Brimstone currently in Act 2 and always will be better. His smokes are free from the beginning of the round. Their range allows to place them almost across all the map.
Shadows traveling.
They are big. One smoke restores every 35 seconds.
Cover going out.
And you do not have to learn lineups to use them. But the best feature of Omen smokes is the ability to create one-way smokes at any map. There are tons of variations, so I will explain you the basics. If you want to make one-way smoke using some object like box, door or anything else, make sure that this triangle is green and lays on the surface of the object like this. Remember, the closer the edge of a smoke to the ground, the better for you. You can also make one-ways using walls. It is pretty simple. Here you need to place smoke inside the wall and make sure that this triangle is red. Also, the lower the edge of the smoke, the better.
Cover going out.
Plus try to place the center of the smoke almost on the edge of the wall, so you will have bigger one-way.
Shadows traveling.
Don't do like this.
Shadows traveling.
Keep in mind one thing: if you created one-way smoke, you and your allies have to stay farther from it than your opponents. This way you will see them first. The principle is the same as when you pick the angles, but applied to verticality.
Here.
Now I will show you the basic one-ways on defense which I always use.
Cover going out. out. Shadows traveling. Cover going out. Cover going out.
There are no limits here. You can be as creative as you can and make some crazy shit using map structure.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
If you are interested, let me know in the comments and I will make specific video about one-ways and smokes on every map. Very important thing about Omen smokes. When you place them, do not create for your opponent easy ways to enter the site like this. This way you cut the angles for him and make retaking site easier.
Stealing sight.
Smoke like this.
Shadows traveling.
Your opponent should be exposed for as many angles as possible while getting out of your smoke. Do not cut angles in his favor. Also, one thing I saw yesterday on 105th Stealth Omen guide. On the attack, do not make smokes which allow your opponents to hide in them and spam the default plant position. Because of it I stopped making smokes like this.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Very cool thing you have to know. When you stay in smoke and your enemy enters it, you see him first. You can use it in many cases to surprise your opponents. I like to do it in post-plant situations when my team has number disadvantage and I have to engage. Usually enemies do not expect this and you can get easy kills.
Here.
All three behind.
The last thing about Omen smokes, you can use them while you move. It seems difficult in the beginning, but after a while it will become natural for you. Just make sure that there are no enemies around who can easily kill you. Next thing we will discuss is Shrouded step. To be honest, I do not use this ability to outplay my enemies with some aggressive 200 IQ moves. I am not as good and smart as Sinja. Instead I try to get as much value from this ability as I can, without taking unnecessary risks. Remember that Omen's Shrouded step creates noise and you are vulnerable almost all the time. First and I think main use of Shrouded step is taking and leaving positions safely without being exposed to the opponents who have strong angles on you. For example, with agents like Brimstone or Killjoy, I can see it here if enemy's team has Raze, Sova, Breach or Phoenix, because even if I kill guy here, I will instantly get boom botted, naded, bombarded with shock darts or killed with Breach aftershock. With Omen, I can instantly change position and surprise enemies from different angle. Also in this area of the map, if this door is smoked and enemies control it from window, you can flash and pretty safely get into sight. It is still the gamble because opponents can be anywhere, but it is better than running straight into scope of the operator. The potential is really big and depends only on your creativity. But this ability is effective until you get priority to safety. Take risks, but necessary risks. Do not think that your opponents are stupid. Another great option is using this Omen's ability with teleports as fake on bind. It may seem complicated, but it's pretty easy. You press ability button, put it anywhere where you want to TP, jump into portal and before getting into it press mouse 1 button. You will create TP noise and confuse your opponent. Right now it can be used only on bind, but there's the ability that riots will create portals on new maps, so you have to know how to do it. Because of Shrouded step, Omen is the best agent for flanking. You can get over Cypher's traps without breaking them, and sometimes dodging Killjoy bot that allows you completely surprise your opponents. Use it in your gameplay if you play for Omen, and remember about it when you have Omen in enemy's team. You can never be 100% safe from flanking. As I said earlier, I'm not a fan of fancy crazy Omen plays, but there is one really good outplay which in my opinion now should be considered as Omen's basics. This trick is universal for any map. You can do it here,
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 here, here,
here,
here.
and in many other places. The algorithm is pretty easy. You make default one way or casual smoke, then you can shoulder pick or hear for footsteps, that is even better. If you realize that your opponents are rushing, you flash them and immediately teleport to opposite corner. Then your opponents start to rush, just let them come closer and kill them. In silver or gold, if you are patient enough, you can kill almost all the team, but on platinum people start to check all the corners. So you have to kill firstly guy who will check your position and after try to kill as many enemies as you can. This shit works only once in the match.
Cover going out. Shadows begins. Blinding. Shadows traveling.
Someone's B.
Cover going out.
Reload him.
Stealing sight.
One enemy remaining.
Now let's talk about Omen's ultimate. It is great, but it's very situational. I know 3 different ways to use it. First, of course, to teleport in your enemies back and try to kill as many of them as possible. Couple tips here. Try to TP while something wild happens on the map, to mask the noise your appearance create. And try to teleport in positions in which you are not exposed to more than one side of the map. For example, this is not always good spot.
My ultimate is ready.
Also try to ult while your team creates pressure on enemies, so you will have more chances to survive and win round. Second use of your ult is scouting or distraction of your enemy's attention. You TP, get info, cancel TP without getting damage, distract your opponents and your team easily gets into sight. Third way of using ult is fast position changing and spike planting. When you're in 2v3 or 2v2 or 1v2 situations trying to get into sight and you have no time, you teleport into another site and plant the spike.
Watch them
You have to plant spike in the areas exposed to as many angles as possible, because your opponents will probably come to the site faster than your teammate, and you may die. So make it easier for him to prevent enemies from deploying. And very important thing here, if you are in 1v2 or 2v3 situation, in my opinion, you have to go seek for a frag to nullify number disadvantage. You cannot just sit inside and wait for enemy team to push.
One enemy remaining.
3 killed. That was fun.
One more trick with Omen ulti. You can dodge Killjoy ultimate by TPing while it works and cancel and teleport. This way you won't be detained and your opponents won't always be ready to see you inside. I didn't do it yet by myself, but I saw it several times on tournaments, so probably it will help you. And the last tip, which sometimes work on bind, you can TP in the teleport exits and wait for your opponents. This works well in post-plan situations and completely unpredictable. Now it's time for really good and useful stuff. Even if you won't play Omen, you have to know things that I will show you now. Many people don't know about this, but not only sound can show where Omen will appear after using his ultimate. When Omen teleports, there is some dark cover on map, and this cover is moving. I don't know how to say in English, so let's say moving. And the direction of this movement is the direction where Omen will teleport. Super easy and super helpful.
My ultimate is ready. Watch them run. My ultimate is ready.
If you watched until this moment, you deserve to know one more thing which you can abuse. Then you teleport, you make noise at the place where you appear, even if you cancel teleport by yourself. But you do not make any noise at all in the place from which you started to TP when you cancel it. Very cool feature with great outplay potential. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. This was my advanced Valorant Omen tips and tricks guide. If you found it useful, please do not forget to leave like for me and subscribe, because I have ton of useful information for you in near future. Train, make cool Omen clips, and see you in the next video.